Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel The Dark Knight Rises Movie Master figures. We're looking today at Alfred Pennyworth. As with every other figure, collect, and if you picked up Alfred Pennyworth, you would have yourself yet another collect and connect piece to build a projecting bat signal. Not just a regular bat signal, but a projecting bat signal. Color me very interested. If you had a paintbrush and you were looking for a color to paint Spot, you would want to paint me with the very interested color. I don't know what color that would be. It wouldn't be green. I guess green. Well, I mean, envy. I'm envious. I don't know. Where's Spot really going with this? Package-wise, we have the Bat Gauntlet as the actual package here. Still a very odd choice, but I don't know. It is what it is. On the back of the package, however, the other figures that make up this wave, I guess wave 1, we've got Batman, Bane, and Alfred Pennyworth. You can collect all 6 to build the bat signal. Complete assembly requires purchase of all 6 Movie Master figures. Don't kid yourself and think that you could just buy 3. They say that for a reason, my friends. Don't just, oh, come on, 6? No, I'm not buying 6. I'm only buying 3. I'm going to buy 3, and I'm going to build the complete bat signal. Well, they've stopped you dead in your tracks. No, complete assembly requires purchase of all 6 Movie Master figures, you jerk. You cheap jerk. But there is the complete bat signal right there. What I also like is the fact that they've numbered the pieces. They didn't number the fact that the lower base here, well, because Catwoman's not featured here, but Catwoman would have been the lower base. Number 1, as you can see right here, 1, Batman, would have been the second tier, that upper base. 2 would have been Bane, as you can see. It's got the actual clamp, the piece that holds the lamp, the actual signal itself. And then 3, Alfred Pennyworth, it's like a legend. It's like, what's 3? 3 means, okay, 3 means basically the meowing cat. But 3, no, Alfred Pennyworth is the middle piece, which looks like it can all connect, and then these 2 would just snap on afterwards. Which is good, because it would have been a shame if Alfred had, well, we don't even know. I'm talking away. It may not even be the case. But it does look like this piece clamps, and then the other 2 pieces can go on, because it would be a shame if that piece was like the back piece and you couldn't even snap it on unless you bought the other 2 figures. That would be sneaky. The read-up says, with authentic detail, deluxe articulation, and supreme quality, the Movie Master line offers fans the premium collecting experience. True to scale, these figures are expertly crafted to ensure the highest standards for your collection. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this out of package, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Movie Master's Alfred Pennyworth. Stay tuned, there's more on the way. Stay tuned. The piece that comes with Alfred Pennyworth is the inner ring, if you want to call it, of the bat signal itself. I don't know, maybe the lamp goes on the back end here. That's actually going to be the projection, and the screen's going to be at the front. That seems like a logical step. But it's quite large, really. If you compare it, it's the size of a small coffee cup. But it's about half the size of Alfred, maybe about, what, 2/3 the size. So it is actually a pretty big size piece. We take that piece, we bring in, it was here the whole time, it didn't really go anywhere. We bring in the actual completed piece so far. Just a rundown for anyone that had missed it. The lower base here, the lower flooring here, came with the Catwoman with a little switch, if you want to turn it on. You got yourself the second tier, I guess the main stand, the main base for the bat signal, that came with Batman. And then the clamp, much larger clamp that held the actual lamp itself, came with Bane. So we're going to take the Alfred Pennyworth piece, and one thing I like about it is that they've made it a collect and connect piece, or collect and connect set, where all the pieces can only go one way, which I like. One side, you can see that it's kind of a moon, half moon circle piece there. The other side is kind of like a T. See that? It's like a little T. Well, the actual clamp, you can see that there's a circular piece, and on this side is that kind of sidewards T. So it tells you right off the bat, there is only one way to put this on. So what I am going to do, I'm going to see if I can do this on camera without making a mess here. I am going to, now this piece looks like it pushes in, as you can see right there. So maybe what I can do, get this on. I'm just going to, oh, Alfred fell. Oh, but hey, by the way, buddy, what do we do when we fall? That worked out. I was going to save it till later, and I was hoping he was going to fall throughout the review, and I was going to say it, then I was going to like sit back, kind of chuckle amongst myself, and kind of think I was really witty. He did it early. But I got it in there, though. Let it be known, Spot got it in there. Then I am going to take this piece, and hopefully clamp it into place. And there we go. It's really not much to speak of so far, but it is getting on there pretty good. It looks pretty good indeed. You know, if you really wanted to, I guess you could really only build, if you only wanted 5 figures, you know, if you didn't want all 6, technically you could really just look for the piece of the actual bat signal, the piece that has the bat, the actual bat emblem. As for the back piece, you could just leave it off if you wanted to. It wouldn't be complete, mind you, but you'd still get yourself what would look like a bat signal. So if you want to say, you know what, forget you, Mattel, I'm only going to buy 5 figures, you technically could do that. But as it stands right now, it does look pretty good. You can move that off camera. Let's pick up Alfred, come on. I'm very surprised. I am very, very surprised that we even got ourselves an Alfred figure. I'm sure Michael Caine is just thrilled that he actually got himself finally a figure. I can't think of any other figure where Michael Caine has actually had a figure made of himself. I don't think, for starters, I don't think they ever came out with a Jaws the Revenge figure set. Much like the movie, nobody would buy them. Nobody would buy them. It's a pretty good likeness of Michael Caine. It does look like Alfred. His eyes are a little wonky, though. It's kind of, I don't know. Do we even say that he's kind of got that Shannon Doherty kind of lopsided eye syndrome? I think it could just be a paint issue. Maybe with my figure. You can see like one eye is a little larger than the other, and the culprit really could be, pardon my finger, the culprit could be the fact that line right above the eye is a little higher than what it needs to be. If it was lower like this eye, it wouldn't have been so bad. And knowing Spot, of course, maybe it's just my figure. It might just be my figure. But I'm very surprised that Mattel released, as a retail release, they actually released an Alfred. I think only the die-hard collectors will likely pick up this figure. I can't imagine any child going through Toys R Us, I want the Alfred! Don't you want Batman? I want Alfred! Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Maybe, I hate to say it, maybe Alfred, you, my friend, are destined to be a peg warmer. He's going to be right up there with Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent being another victim of the peg warming syndrome. But as a true collector, I think anybody would probably want to get themselves an Alfred. He is, after all, Batman's conscience. Many people could say that. The figure definitely looks nice. I have one other problem with the figure, and that's this jacket. It kind of looks like Alfred's lost a little weight. He's just kind of living in his clothes, as they say. Spot, what do you ever mean? If I bring in the card, I'm going to bring in the card once again. There is a picture of the actual production photo, the early photo of what the figure would have looked like. Doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty good. Then we actually compare it to the actual jacket on Alfred, and it's not as fitted. It's not as fitted as it is in the picture. I would have loved to have gotten this figure, but we ended up getting ourselves Alfred, who looks like he's a little too small for his clothing. Now granted, the figure itself has been, the body itself at least, is just a simple reuse of some of the other suited figures that have come from Mattel. Whether you want to look at, you know, the Ghostbuster line, this jacket has been there. You want to look at the original DC superheroes, Two-Face, of course that jacket is there. Numerous figures from the Batman Dark Knight Movie Master line have used this jacket, have utilized this jacket between the Gotham Thug. Of course, the Scarecrow has used this. Harvey Dent has used this. Now, one thing I will say, whereas the other figures maybe didn't have the most appropriate suits, this would be a perfect suit if you want to swap it out for an unmasked Bruce Wayne figure. If like you had an extra head, by all means, I would be putting that Bruce Wayne head on there, and you would have yourself a true Bruce Wayne figure. I mean, it's got a tie. There's not really a lot going on that's too busy. You got yourself a black jacket, black pants. It would be perfect. Now, granted, it would just end up looking like Alfred and Batman or Bruce Wayne share the same clothes, but nonetheless, it still would look pretty decent indeed. In the way of his articulation, Alfred has a ball-jointed head. He has a pin and socket shoulder. His arms do rotate left and right. Rotation at the bicep, bend at the elbow. Rotation in his little tiny hands. He's got the upper torso bend. Rotation in the waist. Legs go forward and back, in and out. Rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee, and bend in the foot. It's very hard to rate this figure. For the same reason that I had a tough time with the Harvey Dent. I know a lot of people commented down below when I did the review of Harvey Dent and said basically this is a pass figure. This is not worth the money. Why would anyone waste their money on a figure like this? You know, it's such a boring figure. And all very valid points. Some would almost say too, the Alfred is a very boring figure. But as a collector, to have the figure on display with the other Batman figures, it's a figure that makes sense. For a casual buyer, very similar to the Harvey Dent, for a casual buyer, I would say Alfred is definitely going to be a pass. As a collector, you probably will pick it up to be a completionist. Now, having said that, the likeness is pretty good on Alfred. I'm going to give him an 8. By saying he's worth an 8, though, I don't definitely say he's a figure that's worth picking up. But I would say on a sculpt level, he's pretty good indeed. Just a shame really that the eye is a little off, but oh well. Today's Toy Spot, though, we're having a look at the Mattel, The Dark Knight Rises, Movie Masters, Alfred Pennyworth. You can let me know your thoughts down below. Likely most of you will pass. Maybe the odd collector out there, the completionist out there, will likely pick him up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.